guys, I'm Tim.
I'm Bob.
And I'm Dan.
This is the Board Game Rundown. Today, we've got games we played, news, Kickstarters, and a top 5 that Bob is very excited about.
Yeah. At first I was like, eh. Then I was like, oh.
That Dan came up with?
Yeah, but it's just something I'm surprised we haven't talked about it yet.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, we talk about it all the time. We've
yeah.
just never done a top 5.
I don't think we have.
Yeah.
I consulted the list.
Whatever. It's our show. We do what we want,
that's
right? Boom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Honestly, I
And a Z.
thought about saying we should do a top 10 for this one because there's so many.
No,
but
no.
It would be too long.
I have a top 5 and like 4 honorable mentions.
Me too. Me too.
Let me do a top 10. No, let me sum up.
No, it'd be too much.
Too long. Let me sum up. Top 5.
So funny.
Okay, so games we played.
Games we played. I'm going to go
yes.
first.
Okay.
So I played something that I've been looking forward to playing for a long time. Nothing mind-blowing, but I was at Bob's a couple hours before Tim showed up, and we pulled out TERRA, something I've been interested in. So it's a trivia game, kind of like Wits and Wagers, where you don't have to be exact. You can be adjacent, like that kind of thing. It is like there's cards. It has a really cool card system where they're putting this sleeve, and the sleeve cuts off the top half of the card. So the top half of the card has the questions. Well, yeah. And then the bottom half of the card has the answers. So you can just leave the card sitting in that Trivial Pursuit like box and read the top and then pull it out for the answers kind of thing. And it was really fun. I liked it a lot. Yeah.
It's neat because it asks you for 3 different types of information, like where's the location, how tall was it maybe.
Yeah. So there's
So
like
you got a
world,
couple different ways
you
to
can just
answer,
yeah,
and it's
correct.
on that world
There's
map.
a world map.
Yep.
And then so it might say like this famous dam or whatever. Where is it? And it will tell you it's in the northwest quadrant of the world.
Right,
So
so
you
it
know it's
airs it
there
down a
somewhere.
little bit.
What year was it first constructed? And how much water does it stop per year in gallons or something?
Yeah, but there's basically
And-
4 different things to guess, and
yeah.
it has you guess at 3 of them.
Yeah.
Yep. Then you've got cubes that you put out
Yeah,
there.
you can guess as much as you want, but if you're wrong, you lose your cubes until
Return.
the
Cubes,
They go in
Jason,
timeout.
Cubes. It has cubes.
Cubes. But yeah, no, I don't know if you've played this.
I played
yeah,
TERRA.
okay.
I think I played it at like a Geekway or
I
something.
think we played it again.
I like trivia games, and this one was cool. I liked it. It's super simple.
Cool.
The name is super unoriginal and boring.
Yeah.
They should market it better. And the box art's pretty bad too.
It's dull.
But components are fine. They're not necessary to be crazy.
Yeah.
And I actually really like the art style of the board. That just like topographical
Yeah.
map. Like I think it looks really nice.
Yeah,
so.
I like that. I do like the board itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great little trivia game. We're being close.
we were joking about it though because the round score goes up to 120, and we're like, "That's insane!"
No way someone's getting 120.
Because we got like 30 the first time we
Yeah.
played or something, and he was like, "That'd be insane." First of all, if you even got every single one right, the most points you get, and he did this math real quick. He's like, the most points you could even get is like 120. They did a good job.
Yeah. But you can be really smart and nail it every
you have to
time.
get everything
All the
perfect.
adjacency
Yeah.
answers as well. So it'd
Sure.
be pretty tough.
But hey, I guess if that's how you're gonna do your score track,
And then
make
you don't
it
play that game with a
literally-
person ever again.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. They're
You
you're
are banned from this game.
But
Man.
TERRA, check it out. It's probably not too expensive.
No, it's
No,
not.
no, it's not at all.
Mhm.
Not at all. And you can get it at any game store.
Yeah,
probably.
yeah. I'm probably gonna pick it up.
Yeah, right on. Well, I'm glad I'm glad that I showed up late so that you had time to have
Yeah, no,
fun.
it was
you never
fun
experienced
before
it
you
too?
were there. Yeah.
No, TERRA's fine.
Yeah.
I like trivia games.
Yeah. And you've played it before.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No. So Dan and I got to play a game on Tabletop Simulator. We are going to get a physical copy for a review, and we're actually going to have the designer in studio to talk
Yeah,
about
so this
it.
is like a pre-production.
Yeah.
Of thing.
Well, the copy we're getting is a finished production.
Sure. I'm just saying it's not out yet.
Right. You can order it on
Yes.
Game Crafter. It is called Magnus Rex. It is a Civ building game, Bob. Civ building game.
I've been told about this a lot that I will like it. So
And he's got this really neat tile system. So everybody's
I'm telling you, I wasn't just trying to like inflate his ego. That map system's genius.
so it's like these clusters of hexes.
Okay.
Okay. And it's got terrain types on it. And then potentially the terrain might produce resources of certain types. But everybody starts in like their known areas.
Uh-huh.
And then there's spaces in between that are like full like sections, right?
Okay.
So you can explore, so you flip them over, and then you can move guys in and around. And then there's also a central area, and there's what they call the 4 corners of the world, which is not a criticism, but it kind of throws me off that the 4 corners are in the center and not in the corners. But
it's
I get
the
it.
4 corners that touch, like the way
Right.
you guys are
Okay.
connected.
Yeah.
Yes. So I mean, when you know why it's called that, it makes sense.
Right.
So you get different bonuses potentially for doing different things.
Sure.
Has asymmetrical factions. So and it's really civilizations. So it's like Romans, Greeks,
Right.
things like that. You've got, there's different units. So different units do different
You
things.
go through different eras.
There's trade.
Nice.
There's different eras. There's tech.
It sounds like it's up my alley.
Bob. This is the Civilization. This is like
the Civ game I ranted about.
This is the Civ game you want.
Yeah.
I will be really surprised if you play it and you're like, nah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Like the couple things from the kind of demo thing we played is the game's probably going to be really long.
Yeah.
Just from how we were spreading out on our board and getting like the way that you gain resources and get the flags and stuff. I feel like at least
But I feel like it's really long, but the turns went quick.
Yeah. I'm not
There's
saying
just a lot of turns. It just takes a while to get things.
Being long and overstaying your welcome is not the same thing.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, Twilight Imperium can play in 6 hours. I enjoy every second of that game.
Most seconds, as long as I'm not getting pounded.
You play Civ on the computer and you're looking at 200 and some turns.
Sure.
Sometimes.
Yeah. We're talking to the Axis and Allies guy here.
Yeah. So 4 hours. Okay.
What's that, 1 round?
Yeah.
But you can control that. You can also that's the great thing about this game though, right? Is there's you can manipulate the game length, right, by how much space you've got on the board pretty easily. And then there's also options for other maps. So in addition to the random map setup, you could do a world map. Or just a United States.
Yeah, and then those would start not flipped. You would see the whole map and you have your starting locations.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's a lot of options in variables.
That you can do.
Right. Now, the maps you would have to get separately, but there's things you can do. It's he's already made a game that is very expandable. There's a lot to build on.
Very modular, you can kind of pick and choose.
Is it McDuffer Games? Brian Lemler is his name.
Yes.
You can tell he's put a lot of work, a lot of play tests, because we've talked about things, and when we were playing it with him, he was like, oh, well, we used to do this, and then we changed it because of this. So there's things where, you're fighting the barbarians, right?
Sure.
If you lose, you still lose that unit, whatever, but next time you go to fight, you get an extra... Yeah, you get a bonus.
Extra die.
You get an extra die to help you.
You kind of know their tactics now.
That's what I said. I was like, you're learning from your enemy. We'll get him next time.
Yeah,
right?
That's cool.
Yeah, so it's very well thought out.
Okay.
This is not a game that we're going to play and I think oh, well, this should do this and this should do that. I think you're going to find that
it's ironed out.
It's ironed out pretty well. So I'm really excited. Probably in a month or so, we are going to we're going to have a physical copy in house.
I'm excited
to get to play with.
Yeah, I can't wait. I literally we played it on Monday night and Tuesday during the day I was just thinking about it. I was just like, man, that system and that mechanic, I just loved it, man.
The tile mechanic's really neat.
Second shift life.
Yeah.
It makes it hard to get in with you guys sometimes.
Well, I mean, I'm second shift life too. I was just lucky to have it all.
Day off.
Yeah,
that's fair.
He was lucky. So what do you got? What else you got? You got any?
Yep. Machina Arcana.
Yeah, you've been playing that a little bit now.
Yeah, played through a whole game and we were successful. And it was fun. Now that we've kind of ironed everything out and the turns are flowing.
Sure.
Yeah, we had a good time with it. It was very difficult still, and it got pretty hairy a couple of times.
But you enjoyed it more because you now understand the rules.
And we're actually taking turns.
System. Sure.
Yes, yeah.
That was a big thing.
We enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, sure. I played a 5-minute mystery. We all played 5-minute mystery.
Yep. I got to dabble. I got to dip my toe.
You got one quick round in while you were looking up something else.
Yeah.
But it was really cool. I've only played 5-minute dungeon 2 times or something. We were on vacation in a different state and it was at this local game shop just set up and we're like, yeah, we'll try that out. And it was fine. This blew it out of the water for me. It's so much more interesting and deep and stuff. It's still a super simple game, but just what you're doing is just codex and
looking for hidden images in the pictures.
And okay, this person has I was literally this is really interesting. It is definitely still a little filler game, which I don't play that much.
Right.
If I'm playing a filler game, it's a just one kind of experience or
something.
But
we're waiting for Tim to show up, so we got 20-30 minutes. Let's play a couple rounds of this.
Yeah, and I enjoyed the experience a lot.
So from what I saw though, the only negative that I think that I saw, and again, I just had a very limited experience because I was just doing one aspect.
Correct.
But from that one aspect that I was looking at is I was looking for the images in the card.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
you were
so
the codex guy.
Yep.
Right. And that was fine. It was fun. But then I could see because we were helping. But Dan's like, oh, we've had this card, so this one's there, and this one's there, and this one's there.
We didn't shuffle very good. We kind of just put the cards.
There's 100 cards in that deck or something.
Okay, no, I'm just
sometimes though the scene will be the same, but the images will be different.
Yeah, exactly.
So you do have to be careful with that. So it's not like they're all unique
got
scenes.
you.
That scene might look the same, but when you look at it, that triangle is a different triangle.
It's not the same
I only
one.
knew
different locations.
Okay, nope.
So,
then
yeah.
And again, I saw it caveat, right? I spent 3 minutes looking at
literally it was 3 minutes.
Yeah, it was.
I would say going on that though, there are the 2 negatives that like I don't think are negatives, but these are the two things that need to be mentioned, right? First of all, the Codex guy is basically not playing the game. Like with everyone else.
That's the game you're playing. You're
Exactly.
playing the search
you
and
are playing a
find
mini
and
game and
codex.
you ignore everything else, so
Yeah.
you just have to enjoy doing that, and that's literally all you do the whole
And
time.
you don't have to. You can technically pass that off and share the responsibility.
you
can
could.
say that.
And I almost would in a
yeah,
way.
like you find one that passes the next person.
Yeah.
I just find it easier because I've been teaching a lot of people, right? To just have like, okay, we're looking through all the culprits. You keep doing the codex. Let us know when we have clues.
Yeah,
sure.
Right? And so then that way we can,
Win.
get it done.
And then on the same thing as that Codex thing,
But I guess if you get really good at it, what you need to do is pass that codex around, right?
Sure.
So it's like
right, challenge a little bit more.
right, because
Sure.
if you get really good at word searches,
Right.
you're gonna bust through them real
Right.
quick. Like once you start, because once I started to kind of figure out what to look for the shapes, it did get faster.
Right.
It's not a negative,
Right.
Right? It's beneficial, right? The
Right,
more
'cause
you
like,
play a
okay.
game, the better you should get at it.
Sure.
yeah, when I was first doing it, I was like doing the Codex. I've made this joke a bunch of times,
Yeah.
but the game was also interesting to me that I would get one and I'd be like, okay, we got a clue. What does it look like?
Yeah.
Like, and they're
I'm
like,
like,
no,
no,
shut
keep
up.
looking, keep looking.
Yeah. No, but I want to see.
That's not your job.
Yeah.
But I think this game probably plays best at 3. That's my guess. I don't know what BGG is going to say, but one person with Codec and then the deck of people cut in half between the other two people, I think is
Going
the
through
best
them.
way. I think that feels really good.
That's not bad.
Because
Gives everybody something to do.
Because once you play with
Right.
4 people, then the only thing to really do is either have 2 people looking at the Codex, which is meh, or have the deck split into
Yeah.
3.
So you got somebody helping
and
you
then-
spot things.
Which is
Yeah.
why, like, 5 Minute. I haven't played 5 Minute Dungeon. I've played 5 Minute Marvel. But why 5 Minute Marvel's awesome because everybody's throwing their cards
Sure.
down, trying to.
I just don't like that
match those
kind of
symbols.
speed game.
Oh,
where
I-
you're just throwing cards.
Yeah,
and
I love it.
yelling
It's done in
and-
5 minutes.
Yeah, like Pit and all that kind of stuff.
yeah,
Just
I
not
haven't
for
played
me.
Pit, but I played Speed, right?
Sure.
And yeah, I enjoy it though.
Yeah.
Slapjack.
So
all that
5
kind
Minute
of stuff.
Mystery.
Yeah.
That's Kickstarter that just filled. So
Yep,
hopefully that
just
starts
started.
showing up on
And
your game store.
shelves, yeah, pretty soon.
Right. I got one more that we all played together.
I got a couple. Yeah.
so-
I played some Scythe online.
Okay.
I know you don't like it when it's just basically the board.
No, but I do own that
overlay.
one.
Yeah,
I
it
played
plays.
it.
It plays well. You
Yeah.
know, and
It's cool. So having all the pieces move and stuff on there.
Yep, and make setup and tear down real easy.
Yeah.
Do you have more?
Just the one left.
Just the one.
We're all on the last one?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so we played Mourners Call, Court of the Dead.
Court of the Dead.
We
Mourners
played
Call.
it.
Court of the Dead, Mourners Call. We played it.
Big boy.
I can't wait to play this game again.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
I did terrible, but I had a really good time.
Mhm.
It played fast.
It
for
played
me. I
Yeah.
guess.
Once we got going, it was played pretty quick.
Yes.
Mhm.
The actions are
But it was a
very
new
simple.
game. Yeah, you had that
The,
nice little
the,
breakdown sheet.
the
that helped.
iconography was so easy
Super
to
easy.
maintain.
The
Yeah,
rule
everything
book
made sense.
Isn't bad. They just need to consolidate.
Organizational things.
They just need to consolidate some things
Right.
because there's some things about this track here, and then there's some things about that
here.
track
Right. All that
later
information should be in the same
be in
spot.
one spot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just
Or
one
at least
spot.
have, like, if you're in the one spot reading it,
Yeah,
have the
Spark
page
notes.
number referenced.
Or yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
so
we
you're
go
like,
more in
okay, there's
depth
more on this
here.
page. Okay, yeah.
Mhm.
That would have helped.
That would have
lot.
helped a lot. That would have saved us like a half hour.
Probably, yeah.
There are
Easily.
similar style games I like more, but I enjoyed it quite a bit. I'm looking forward to playing again.
And the components are fantastic.
Of
The
course.
Yeah.
artwork is absolutely
The insert's
amazing.
good.
The insert's really good.
yeah.
Yeah, the artwork is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
and I love
very-
the theme. The theme is really neat.
Yeah.
Like you are
Yeah,
basically
I like
you're
the
like
way-
the realm of death and
Uh-huh.
the heaven and hell are battling and you're like, we've got to figure this out.
Yeah.
So you-
Okay,
And
what's
you're
going on?
literally trying to earn unity.
Yeah, so you're
and
trying
pull
to-
these different sects together.
yeah, so you're unifying the
like
factions
the,
of
the flesh faction, the bone faction,
spirit.
and the yeah.
and they've all got their own unique look and
Uh-huh.
unique abilities to them.
Yep.
Yeah. I'll say after just one playthrough so far, I have very few negative things to say about
Yeah,
the game.
me
Yeah.
too. We're gonna get it played again,
Hopefully next weekend.
and then we will definitely do a review
Yep. So keep an eye out for that.
coming soon.
Yep.
So Court of the Dead, man.
Yeah,
man,
good
top
times.
marks.
Yeah.
I guess we played Railroad Tycoon or
Yeah.
Racoon Tycoon.
Raccoon
You're
Tycoon.
correct.
We did play that one too.
Forbidden Games.
Yep.
Mixed results. Dan,
I
what
have
if-
very few positive things to say. Oh, sorry, that was the opposite of quarter.
Yeah.
where could they find mayhaps our review of the Racoon Tycoon?
That is. Oh, you want me?
Yeah, I do.
I gotcha. Well, it's probably not up yet. It'll be close.
It'll be close.
Yeah.
It'll be there. We've got
Once
one
it's
on the
available,
channel.
There will be a link.
I just want to. I was
Sure.
like, come on,
Come on,
give
do
it
the
to
thing.
me,
There
give
you
it to
go.
me.
Now I got to put a link there. I snapped.
Twice.
Yep.
Yep.
Two
But
links.
one will just go to a random other review.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so
Rick rolled.
I'll go into news then real quick.
There you go.
I've only got one little bit of news.
Okay.
Pandemic Legacy Season 0 release date,
Ah,
October
yeah.
23rd.
Okay. Nice. So soon.
So very soon.
Yeah.
This is a pandemic I'm interested in,
looks
which
really good.
I'm
might
not
check this one
normally
out. Yeah.
interested in
I'm
pandemic.
pretty pandemic out, but this one I might check out.
I've been pandemic out for a
For a
long
while,
time. I need to
yeah.
play the Cthulhu one.
I haven't played the Cthulhu one.
Well, I'm kind of dying to play it because I never played Pandemic Season 2.
Okay.
And I was never allowed to finish Pandemic Season 1. I got to like
Not my fault.
I got to like the last game, and then we stopped playing and never went back. It was very depressing. I don't even remember anything
Get that far
happened.
into it and then stop playing.
All right, look, Bob and I will sit down and help you finish that last one, and then we'll just and then we'll help you burn
Call it
it.
a day. Yeah.
But, yeah, so I'm looking forward to because this theme is the
Black
best one so
Plague,
far
right?
to me.
Isn't it like
No, we were wrong.
It's like World War I.
it's Cold War.
II,
It's
or
like
Cold War.
Spies.
That's what it is. Yeah,
Cold
it's the
War and Spies.
That's what it is.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
way better.
Yeah, remember-
I wrongly said it.
Remember
like,
in the episode, and I was like, "Oh, it's like this noir-looking thing." He was like, "Idiot! It's clearly Victorian."
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was noir
Wrong.
looking.
Okay.
And I'm like, do you even know what noir means?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mansplained it and then had to go outside and get woke.
Yeah,
I was
nice.
so wrong.
Wow.
Nice.
Wow.
I did.
Well,
Hashtag
we're
language of
awake
this man.
now.
all awake.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Awakened
looking
Realms.
forward.
Oh.
Awake. Nope, not awake.
That's
Realms.
funny. Not really. I was kidding.
Not really. Yeah.
All right, guys. Let's do some Kickstarters real quick.
Yeah.
You have no news then?
No news?
That was my
Oh,
news.
Oh, that was your
That
news.
was the
yeah,
news.
Okay. I knew you had one, and listen, you started talking. My
did.
ears stopped.
Stop
They
listening.
closed.
Yeah.
It's really weird if you watch. His ears just.
Yeah.
Close right
I
whenever
was
I start
special.
talking.
Yeah.
Who wants to go first on Kickstarters?
I got one.
I've got 2 that we normally talk about.
Okay.
And then I've got 1 new one that I am excited about.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So Desolated.
Haven't seen it.
Haven't seen it.
So it's an engine builder for 1 to 6 players.
Uh-huh.
Plays in about 30 to 45 minutes. Say it's easy to teach but hard to master.
Like it.
Along the roads of like a Splendor or like a Spice Road.
Okay, so you don't like Splendor. I do.
Or Spice Road.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Dan
Yeah.
is
Dan's out.
quickly moving out of this one.
But they say the base box is about 19 euros, right? And that only plays 1 to 2 people.
Okay.
And then you can get expansions to add to that for 45 euros. And then for 79, you get a big collector's box where you have enough to play up to 6 people, plus you get the
right on.
expansions and everything else.
Sure.
So it seems a little bit pricey for a Splendor type of
Yeah,
game.
but
For 20, for the 20 to get the base one, most time when I play it, it's 2 players anyway, because that's one
Sure.
that Sarah and I play all the time.
sure.
And so I'm interested in the smaller one. I don't know if I'd go all in on the big
Crazy,
one, unless
but
you
yeah.
really enjoy those types of engine building types of games.
Yeah, I mean, it would really I would have to have either played like a prototype, right?
And
Or
to know it.
to know it, or like, you're just like, this hits every mark for me to
But-
go all in for
For that kind of price.
and
that
you and
type
I
of
do
game.
like the fancy deluxe editions.
We do. In a
I
nice
get
little
it.
magnet box.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
holds
yeah.
It all
I
in
get
there,
it,
which is
for
nice.
sure.
Yeah.
For
But the artwork looks
sure.
cool.
Yeah,
and
right
they've
on.
got like some add-ons like sleeve packs and
Oh,
a
cool.
mat and art books, things
Sure.
like that. So
Oh, Dan's writing, making me
Dan's
nervous.
Oh,
writing.
I'm making a guy who's doing like he's like using
You're-
flip book.
You're so
Yeah,
out
see,
of.
Good job.
yeah.
You didn't even jump the whole rope.
Dan nailed
Well,
it.
it was like
I did get it though.
Wow.
yeah.
All right, so what's your Kickstarter
Yeah,
then?
what's your
Oh, I mean, it's my turn.
Since you're too
Time
good
for
for
an
Bob's.
interesting game.
Ugh.
So I actually mentioned this last week. As oh, here's something that kind of looks interesting and it still had time left. Unforgiven, the Lincoln assassination trial.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
So
yeah.
I actually looked it up this time and stuff because it looks really cool. Also, not us, little cross promotion that they don't need at all, but the Dice Tower just uploaded a gameplay of it, so you can see it.
Yeah, we don't need
played.
that.
Yeah, but so by Tom Butler, who made Patriots and Redcoats. You guys hear about
Nope.
this one?
Nope.
So this Patriots and Redcoats, it's something I've actually wanted for a long time, but it must be out of print and stuff. It's just so hard to find. But it's like a so it's obviously Revolutionary War themed version of like a what's it called? The Hitler game.
Secret Hitler?
Secret Hitler. Yeah, it's like a Secret Hitler hidden identity thing where you're
Okay.
and kind of like a good cop bad cop idea where they have to assassinate the Redcoat general or the
Oh,
the,
okay.
you know,
2 booms in a room.
yeah, oh, sure. So it's like, a mixture of all those kind of deduction games, and
Sure.
it looked like a good one.
Okay.
I liked
Yeah.
it quite a bit.
I was like, I get a little burnout on some of those sometimes.
Yeah.
Sure. Like, meh.
I just know, like, a lot of people like Secret Hitler, and I thought
I
this one
really
was,
do like
yeah,
Secret
and
Hitler.
I thought this one was a cool
More than
looking,
2 booms in a
similar
room.
thing.
Secret
I'd
Hitler's-
almost rather play a area control game with Redcoats versus.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, Bob's like, oh, that sounds.
Understandable.
Oh, it's not a war game.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. go ahead.
So 2 players.
Yep.
Only. It's 13 days left. Funded $29 to $75 for April of
Right
next
on.
year. So this is the 1865 trial of Mary Surratt. Don't know how to say
Sure.
her name.
One of the conspirators.
One of the
in
11
Lincoln.
conspirators, I think it is, and one player plays the prosecutor, one person plays the defense attorney, and you have to convince the 9-jury panel of your way. So you're rolling dice to get evidence, like the dice have evidence. There is like a, like Seven Wonders Duel has that. I think it's Seven
Where
Wonders
you
Duel
peel
where
the
there's
card
cards
off and
that
then
are
it reveals
up and
the other
down,
ones?
and
Yeah.
so there's that kind of system where you're basically like, I'm gonna claim this guy to help me with my case, but that reveals more cards that the other guy can then take, and so you're building this case of these guys that get you
That's interesting.
evidence
Like
and
a
stuff.
tableau
Yeah, a
building.
tableau set collection kind of thing where you're getting, okay, so this guy gets me this, and then certain people want things, so they need to see physical evidence, this evidence, and this evidence, and if you can fulfill that on your turn for him, you kind of tap him and you've convinced that guy.
Oh, okay.
And one of the ways to win is convince 3
Enough
or
of the
4,
jurors
convince
or-
4 jurors.
Okay.
That's one of the ways, and then there's this little track that goes up and down that's like the convince track 2, and so that's one way to win, is just convince 4 guys you have in your tableau, but then also you can get this track to go all the way up, and that means you've won without a reasonable doubt. Like I've
You know
gotten
what?
enough
You could really
evidence.
do a lot with that system.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just thinking, like, I prefer like you do this to please this guy rather than having people vote, right? Because some people can be biased, like, oh, his story was really interesting.
Yeah, no.
It's like,
That's fine for like a little party game.
Yeah.
But if you're going to like actually try to go on, yes, I agree with you.
yep.
But that's basically it. There's that you're trying to win in one of the 3 ways that is either convince the jurors, or there's 2 ways to win on the track. I don't remember what the second one is called. But yeah, and then if you get enough evidence kind of points on that track, then there's like this special guy that you can get if it goes far enough on your way, and it's just this really cool courtroom 1v1 idea. I like the look of it a lot. So I saw it last week and I was like, that seems interesting, and then I really looked into it this week and I was like, yeah, it looks
really
really cool.
interesting.
Yeah.
So yeah, Unforgiven, the Lincoln assassination
Is it
trial.
funded?
Yes, it is funded.
Cool. All right, I'm gonna go with a rundown favorite. I'm gonna do MiniSteel.
Nice.
They're at 79%. There's still gonna be like over 2 weeks left when this comes out, so they're looking really good.
Yeah, they're looking good.
$16. Greenmore Games, 2 to 4 players, hand management, sort of like all versus all. Yeah, it's a ton of fun,
A
man.
little bit of luck.
Tiny little box.
Oh, sorry, did I say that really loud?
Yeah.
You're so wrong.
I mean, anything you're drawing,
I'm not
anytime
so
you're drawing
wrong.
cards, there's just some luck
Exactly.
in it.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. But anyways,
But you
it
can
is
mitigate that.
it is a fantastic game, especially for the price.
Yeah.
If
It's a lot of game in a little box for a small price.
if you like even like Star Realms or any of those, I mean, I think if you're okay with that level of take that,
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is. I mean, it's not even a take that because it's your versus everybody. So
Well,
I mean, you
so
have
you're
to.
like, here, take that.
Yeah. yeah. I
But
play take that all the time when I want food,
Yeah.
and I'm like, and I give them money,
Yeah.
and then
And
you
then
take
take
that.
that.
You take that.
and then they.
But it's awkward when they like throw the food
yeah,
at you.
I'm
Yeah.
okay with that.
Okay.
Okay. You just-
We have a Kickstarter preview right here covering MiniSteel, so you can check out more in depth what we think about
Yes.
the game and how it plays and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Spoiler alert! It's fun.
Yep.
Yeah.
We
Okay,
like
Bobby.
it.
What else you got?
I gave you my one.
Oh, you had one.
Okay.
Is that it?
Nope, I got one. Windward.
Okay, good. You didn't take the one I
Okay.
want.
So Windward, this must be a redo. I have never seen it or played it before, but this is the big box, is what it says.
Okay,
so obviously
sure.
this game
Okay.
already existed.
All right.
Is it Queen Games?
Eldorado.
Oh, okay. No.
Eldorado Games.
Okay.
1 to 5 players. $45 for the upgrade to the big box thing with the expansion, whatever,
That's
or
expensive.
$99 for the collector's
Oh,
edition.
okay.
It's an expensive game. September of next year. So this is a bunch of like Wind Gambit, like a bunch of like flying ships. You're on like this gaseous planet, so everything
Okay.
floats. Like you've
Bespin.
built everything
We all
to
float
yeah,
around here.
yeah, exactly. So there's like a wind flag in the middle of the map, and
Uh-huh.
you kind of have to pilot your ship to help like take advantage of that wind, and you're all trying to go
Nice.
around like that.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
You hire crew and gather supplies on your little player board of your ship. All the ships do look different and have a unique, asymmetric ability. You manage your morale, your storage space, your supply. You change your elevation. So basically, you have your main ship, and then you can launch out a little like I can't remember what they call like a boat. I can't remember what that's called right now.
Yeah, okay.
Huh?
Just go on.
Yeah, sure. But and so that one's on a lower elevation, so that can hunt creatures that are smaller.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
basically the point of the game is you are chasing after these giant shark things that are like flying
In the
around in
air,
the
sure.
gas. Yeah, and you're hunting them down, and then you bring back like their teeth
Okay.
to be like, look, I
There's
So
an
you're-
anime I
this
saw
thing.
recently. That was
You're
kinda like
air
that.
whalers.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, and that's basically what they were there. Yeah.
So the expansion adds a third elevation where you can launch scouts up above your ship, and
Nice.
they can go out and scout. There's events now. There's a pirate faction that one person plays as who can kind of attack and get
Nice.
other people's ships as well. There's a black market where you complete contracts for them, and the insert is incredible looking.
Oh boy.
What a great insert!
You know you love inserts
like
like
an
Bob loves
individual
dual layer
spot
player
for every
boards.
ship, and it looks so good. But yeah, Windward
But
just
it's $100 for that
Yeah,
deluxe edition.
yeah.
Well, it might be worth it if you got all the
it
good stuff in
looks
there.
like it's worth it. It looks like the game has a lot to offer. Whether
Sure.
or not I like the gameplay, I don't know. But like component wise and what they put into it, it looks
Yeah.
good. I like this idea going around like controlling, like drifting around in the wind and hunting these
So
creatures.
does the wind change and
Yeah,
stuff?
the wind will change. I don't know how it happens,
Okay,
but they even showed in the gameplay example the wind changed while the guy was moving, so his ship like drifted.
Okay.
Yeah, so
That sounds neat.
Yeah, because you've played Fire and Axe, and it's got
I have
that.
not, but
you haven't
I'm
played
aware.
Fire and,
Nope.
Oh, because it's like a Viking game.
Yeah.
And the wind thing changes. And
That
so
was one of
when
like
you go
the
one
40
direction-
Viking games that came out
Oh,
at the
yeah.
same time as like Champions,
Yeah.
right after Blood Rage, and
Yeah.
I was like, I'm done with Viking games.
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
not
No,
it.
that was super cool because that wind gauge thing is neat, and you can
Sure.
like pray to the gods to have the winds change in your
Nice.
favor, and you can sail further in certain directions.
I like that.
Yeah, it's
Why doesn't
certainly-
Champions of Midgard do something fun like that?
it does a lot of things fun.
It does.
What
Does
was
it?
yours?
All right. So what was that called again?
Windward.
Windward. That sounds pretty neat. I'm gonna talk about Regency real quick. It's gonna have maybe like 9 or 10 days,
About a week or so.
when this pops up. $29. It is a really fun historically based card strategy game, set collection.
Yep.
And it's really simple to teach. But there's a lot of stuff you can do. The cards in your hand, you can they have like a value, like a gold value. You can use those to recruit the citizens to your realm to fill one of those 6 slots. Some of them have even multi-purposes, so they can fit in different slots. Or you can use the card for like an action.
Ability.
And they have actions on there, which could allow you to take a guy for free, manipulate the
And you can
lineup.
only use certain action cards if you have the like
certain
the
ability.
Yeah,
yeah,
some of them
the
only
suit.
trigger
Yeah,
if
right.
you have
It's
like
oh,
the
this is
religious
a fighting thing. You better have a fighting guy to help you do that ability.
Right. But it's a really I really like this game.
Yeah.
I really want to see it funded.
I like cards that have like dual abilities.
I do
Like, I can
too.
do 2 different things with it.
Because you get a different experience when you play.
Right, you're like, oh, I got this card. Oh, but at least I can do this with it.
And there's a little bit of asymmetry with the individual rulers.
Correct.
Not like a ton, but just depending on what type of ruler you take could influence how easy it is to get certain guys, things like that. Right. But for what it is, $29, I think it's pretty solid.
Yep.
And then the last
agree.
one, you don't have any more, right?
You're good.
The last one. So this is one we've never talked about.
Yep.
Have you seen Kabuto Sumo yet?
Yes.
Dude, this game looks fun.
I saw it on there. A friend of
This-
mine backed it.
Did it? All right, because like I kind of want to get
He's
this
not around here though, so you won't
to
get
play with my kids. Well, I might get it to play with Mallory,
Okay.
my 8-year-old. So it's 2 to 4 players. Takes like 15 to 20 minutes. $29, and it is based on like these Japanese rhino beetles. And what they do is they like fight all the time, like in nature. That's like a real
Right.
thing that they do.
Yeah.
So the game itself is like a circular board with like a piece coming out like this. And depending on the players and what you've
Elevated,
got,
right?
yeah, it's elevated.
Yeah.
And then you stack all these little discs on there, and then you also stack your beetle like representation on there. And then each beetle has its own like special ability. Like one's got like a claw which goes around a thing.
Okay.
So you can like grab a dude, and then what you got to do is you got to push a disc on, and it's like those coin games, right?
Oh,
where
yeah.
where it goes like this, and like so you push a disc on, and you're knocking stuff
Off the other edge.
off the edge, and so you can push like from any side. And so you're doing that, and you're trying to, I mean, you're just trying to. Everybody's
Knock
trying
everybody
to.
else's things off.
Yeah, I
Okay.
don't know. It looks like a lot of fun.
It's funny.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like really light and goofy, but
Right.
but those kind of games, right? Like, how many times have we played a light, goofy game at a con?
And had a ton of fun with it.
And just have like everybody standing around a table
Yeah.
yelling, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? And then other people come up, and then you're watching them play. It
Yeah.
just, I love those kind of games.
Yep.
Like, and it's 15 minutes to play.
Yep.
So again,
Play it 2 times, 3 times.
we're waiting on Bob. He stopped at Chipotle. Like, let's go ahead and just play this,
Yeah.
right?
Checks out.
I guess I have a quick Kickstarter related question. Oh, yeah.
Kabuto Sumo, in Japan, they actually have underground like beetle wrestling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Underground because it's kind of illegal.
Right.
That's what I assumed, yeah.
That's funny.
That also kind of plays into that.
Beetle wrestling.
That's funny.
I'm down with the Kabuto Sumo.
In case you couldn't hear him, there's words on the bottom of the screen of what he said.
No pressure.
Yeah.
What's your thing?
No, so really quick, did you
Yeah.
wind up backing the thing?
Oh, yeah.
No,
Okay.
did not.
I'm really surprised. I don't
You
think
can
it's
turn your
over yet.
notifications back on.
They're on. I haven't backed anything in a while.
Wow, I guess not then. I thought you were all ninja backing.
I am.
things.
No.
I'm genuinely surprised you didn't back it just so you could paint the miniatures. That's what because those are really good miniatures of the thing. Where else can you get that? Like that's honestly the only thing I was thinking.
Yeah, I really, really want it.
Yeah.
I really want it.
I get it. Hey, I get it. It's a lot of money and everything.
It's a lot of money, and I have a game that I already like that may do the same thing.
Oh, okay, sure,
The
yeah.
area or the.
You're saying
Well, I mean, I
if
already have a
Outpost,
thing game,
Yeah,
Yeah.
lives up. Yeah.
Dude,
and if it's better than Outpost,
yeah.
then okay, I missed out a little. But
Yeah.
if it's as good as Outpost, I already have Outpost.
Sure.
Infection
I
Outpost
guess
31.
It looks much better to me, but I haven't played Outpost. I've just watched.
I don't know
and
that it looks
stuff.
better. It looks, but it does look good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Because Outpost is good.
Outpost is fantastic,
I've heard only good
especially if
things,
you
yeah.
can get a fun, like an
A fun
8-player
group,
game,
yeah.
right, with a good group.
Mhm.
I mean, we've had some amazing games of Outpost,
Yeah.
and I love that kind of game.
Yep.
So, yeah, I didn't.
Well, you keep saying didn't. I don't think it's over yet.
I think it is.
Really?
I think it
okay.
is.
It's close.
I was
real
gonna say,
close.
maybe it literally ended today, like
Yeah.
because I looked at it not too long ago. But
It's really tough. It's really tough because there's a bunch of crap I want to back,
Mhm.
Yep.
and it's like
Don't worry, I'll send you the link to the late pledge when it opens, just to
thanks.
tease you again.
that's fair. That's fair. All right, are we ready then? Oh, Kabuto Sumo, I believe, is already funded and would fill in June of 2021. Maybe it's all wooden bits. you know.
Exactly. I was
It's
thinking
not
that
overly
about,
produced or complicated, so I
Right.
think that's one.
They can
that-
make that.
yeah.
I was
There's not
thinking
a lot
that-
of
a ton
tooling.
of components.
Not a lot of tooling
with
for minis
Unforgiven
and-
too, saying the April thing. I actually believe that just because it looks like they have already made the game.
Oh,
you know
sure.
what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
there's so many already nice production copies out there, even of like the deluxe version. I think they have already had the backlog,
Right.
and they hit their goal and everything. So they're probably gonna ship it,
Soon.
soon. Yeah.
Yeah,
and
no,
I
that's great.
believe it.
That's
Nice.
great. All right, are we ready for top
Yeah.
5 asymmetric
Yeah.
games?
There's beauty in asymmetry.
We love. That's like one of our favorite
Yeah.
aspects of a game.
Almost every game needs it. I would
No,
say
I enjoy a good Euro where it's just everybody's in the
Almost.
same thing. Okay.
every game.
So who's going first on their top 5? So asymmetric, let's just say,
So put it out there.
put it out there for what it is, right? It is every player has a different ability that makes them unique.
Yep.
Gives them a different way to gain victory
doesn't
points
have to
or
be
accomplish
that,
the
but
goals.
yeah.
I mean, generally,
Something in the game is different that stands you apart.
for each player.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, for each player.
And sometimes it's like what faction you pick. Sometimes it's what card you pick.
Mhm.
You know what I mean, or whatever. There's a bunch of ways to manipulate
And
that.
sometimes it
Sure.
snowballs like crazy.
Yeah,
So
yeah. And I try to get like a good variety.
Yeah,
of stuff.
That's what I went
I
for.
saw your
Don't,
list.
don't look at my list.
Oh, guys.
It's a secret, and I left my favorite one off the list.
I
because
noticed that. That's why I didn't put it on mine. It's in my honorable mentions in case you didn't.
Yeah, no, I
But-
didn't put it
Okay.
on my list specifically
Okay.
because I was like, well,
Oh,
it's the,
really?
yeah, I have to pick different
Okay.
things.
Well, you don't have to.
You don't have to.
I
If
need
it-
to.
If it's favorite,
There's
then-
like a game on here I think I've talked about it like almost every top 5 list that's favorable. You know?
Right.
I'll go really quick
Okay, go ahead.
because my number 5 I'm gonna get out of the way because I just want to talk about it more. I have not
Tapestry.
played it.
Oh.
No, I have not played it, but I have watched hundreds of hours
Oh,
on this
God.
game at this point. Blood on the Clocktower.
Oh, yeah. That
so
is-
Blood on the Clocktower is one of those games. It's a social deduction game, werewolf type, but it's one of those like Wolves of Mercia that we like a lot, where everyone in the game has a different ability. Everyone is asymmetric. There are still 2 teams in the game. And there are some characters that like switch teams and stuff, but there's basically good team, bad team. But every single character in the game has an ability, even if it's a bad ability. That's one of the nice things about it is, so there's townsfolk, which are the good guys, and then there are like the demon team, the demons and the I don't know, they're sidekicks, whatever they're called. I
Yeah,
can't remember
sure.
right now. But then there's a whole group of things that you can choose to put in your game called outsiders, and they're on the townsfolk team, but almost all their abilities are terrible. Like, and they just have to convince you that no, listen, I'm this outsider. Like, please trust me. And it's so fun to have these guys have to like beg and say like you have to trust me. But almost all the outsiders' abilities are not provable. You cannot know if they're the outsider. You just have to trust the person.
I like it.
Yeah, to believe their ability, and you know, and there might not even be outsiders in the game. You know, you can just lie and say that you're an outsider
Because
right?
you have reference to
Yeah.
all the stuff.
And so Blood on the Clocktower is a game I cannot wait to start
I
playing.
can't wait for you to start running a game.
I know.
'cause
I,
really wanna
I am
play it.
currently one person short of the 10 group that I want. There
Okay.
are 9 people that have said they're interested. So I just
Sure.
have to get one more person interested, and then I can start putting it together a date.
Oh, if you're interested, you could comment on the YouTube channel or message us at Game Talk Network
Yeah.
That is true.
And we could find a way to get you into the game, probably.
We'll be playing it on a special website that allows you to play it easily and over Discord. So you have to have a nice enough headset and mic to be able to not make everyone annoyed, right, when you're playing.
Know how to use a mute button.
Yeah, that too would be nice. Yeah,
and you can play it on an iOS device or on a computer.
Yes.
Because we messed with it, and we know that it'll work on my iPad.
Yeah, that was what I was going to say. I wouldn't do a phone. I've had a lot of errors of the website loading on phones. But if you have any type of tablet or something like
I would
that,
do a
it
tablet
also
or
works.
higher, right?
But yeah, Blood on the Clocktower, guys, social deduction game by Pandemonium Institute, I believe, off the top of my head. And I'm genuinely in love with this game. I cannot wait to play it because it's already becoming one of my favorite games, and I've only watched it.
You've never played
like,
it looks really neat. Looks really neat. All right, Bobby, you go next. Since you saw my list.
I did. This is not from it. So this game's not out yet, but it's one on Kickstarter. I'm extremely excited.
We haven't played in a game that's not out yet.
Yeah.
I love it.
I made sure I played all my games.
No, but
My game's not out
it looks
yet
super cool though. Galaxy Hunters, right?
Oh yeah,
because not only do you have your Merc, but you've got your mech, and then how they pair together is all different. And I'm really excited to check that out.
It's pretty neat. It looks so good. Yeah, it looks really good.
It does.
I will say, I own the rest of mine except one, but I know a lot of people that own it.
Okay.
So
hiding my stuff. My number 5 is Rising Sun.
Oh,
I think Rising Sun by Simon, man, it is a really good asymmetrical.
I got rid of mine because of the bidding. And I've never actually played it. I'm not big on the hidden bidding.
Yeah, it's a part of it.
Yeah,
but there's so much other stuff to it.
Is this asymmetric in a very similar way that Blood Rage is?
Blood Rage is not asymmetric
at all.
Really?
Blood Rage is only asymmetric because you draft cards.
Really? Okay, I've only played it once. I don't really remember.
But
a lot of people talked about
the Ram clan versus the Bear clan don't do anything different.
Okay.
They function the
There's not even an expansion that lets you do it different?
No, they all function exactly the same
sucks.
way. You're wrong, but that's where Rising Sun improves.
Okay.
So like the Turtle faction, which is my favorite, it lets you their citadels, their castles are on the backs of these big turtles, and you can move them. So normally when you build one, it's there, right? But when you've got your castle, like on the turtle, you could move it. I mean, there's just a lot of neat stuff you can do. And then the way that you can build alliances with people and stuff, it just changes everything because the different clans are going to work differently together. There's just a lot of game in there. And the different factions. There's not one time where I've played where I've gone, with this faction. Like, I've had a good time with all. I always try to get the one that I like, but if I get a different one, it's like, oh, that's actually still pretty cool. So, Rising Sun, it's not hard to find. It's a big CMON game. It's beautiful. It's worth the money if you like miniatures, territory control, but with a lot of extra stuff.
Yeah.
A lot more depth to it. All right, Dan. 4.
So my number 4 cover. I'm
wrong.
I'm obviously saying a specific game, but I wanted to cover this because Blood on the Clocktower is like everyone has asymmetric player powers, and you see how all those interact. Yeah. So my number 4
is also Blood on the Clocktower.
Is Clock on the Blood Tower. But no. So my number 4 is basically just all deck builders. But I'm just gonna talk about Arctic Scavengers. This is asymmetric in the way that I think is so cool, to where everyone starts the same. And then because of the choices you make, it becomes more different and more different.
See, but I say that's not the same.
Correct.
Not asymmetric.
I get what you're saying.
I could buy the same card that you do.
Yep.
I get what you're saying.
Turn.
You are creating asymmetric decks. At the end of the game, my deck is nothing like your deck. The things
Unless I keep
do are
buying
nothing.
the same thing you do.
I guess you could. Yes, it never happens. What I'm saying is you are building an asymmetric economy. I get it. It is by definition asymmetric.
Not asymmetric.
No, it is. Not the same is what that would mean. Let's play any deck builder and compare our decks at the end of the game.
I will just make a point to copy you.
Yes,
right.
You could to try to prove someone wrong when they're not. You could be a baby. You're right. You could do that.
Well,
yeah.
Win things sometimes,
Yeah.
so.
No, I love the way that deck builders make something asymmetric. It is one of my favorite ways to do it, honestly, because it is the snowball effect.
So,
the more we
I
play,
would go
the
DC
different.
deck builder, right? Because each player starts with a superhero, which
get
then
that.
gives them an asymmetric
Symmetric
power.
ability.
I think
Correct.
that is limiting the word asymmetric way too much to saying I have to have an asymmetric player power or else it's not asymmetric. That's ridiculous to me.
So I guess I just feel like a game should start asymmetrically, not become asymmetric.
And see, I would say my favorite way to do asymmetric is to not start asymmetric and you
But then to
slowly
end it.
become
But
different.
that would make almost every single game asymmetric then, because you never end up in the same spot unless you tie.
Yeah, but it's what you actually have, not just what you make on the board. My turn was asymmetric because I moved left. That's different than saying I have this now. I made myself have
Right,
this.
but I could do like a Hansa Teutonica super, boring Euro, like not boring, but like,
Dry.
dry, thank you. And our boards would look the same at the end, they look different now, so now it's an asymmetric game.
Right.
It's
fine.
Literally what you just said makes no sense.
You can have it.
I'm just saying.
Okay,
Okay,
so let's
Dan's
move on.
We're gonna move on.
Yeah, let's go to your number 4.
Deck builders are one of the most fun ways to create an asymmetric game.
Yeah, if you pick
So
a deck
speaking
builder
of
that's
good
asymmetrical.
Speaking of great asymmetric deck building games,
Yeah.
Aeon's End, Aeon's End, specifically the Legacy.
Haven't played it.
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
I've only played Aeon's End once.
Right.
I was not super impressed.
And,
but I
okay,
played regular.
The regular ones.
Yeah.
And those are fine, but when you do the Legacy, you start out mostly generic, but then you add stickers to your guy and you make it,
Sure.
different.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then you can take those characters and play them in the normal Aeon's End thing, which is super cool.
Cool.
And I think that is it's neat. It's a concept. You put the stickers on there and you make them different. Like, man, I really wish I could have more of
I
these.
think for me, I had to get used to wrapping my head around how the
Not
spells
shuffling?
charge.
Oh, that
And
too.
yeah, not
I
shuffling.
love
too.
the not shuffling because then you're playing things and you put them in your discard a specific way, and then you just take that pile
Yeah.
and you flip it.
No,
and you're drawing the cards in the order you want.
I can dig that totally, but it was the charging the spell.
Yeah.
Like,
well, because you put it out and it sits there, and at the start of your next turn, then it goes off.
yeah, the way they fire off was weird
Yeah.
to me. Like,
Well, it's kind of like you think about like, okay, I'm casting. All right, you go ahead.
Right.
I'm casting.
yeah, but I always hated that in D&D too.
Yeah. Well,
But
okay.
okay,
Let's take a while to cast.
right, they do. My number 4, Martin Wallace game, Wildlands.
I didn't look at that one. But
you didn't?
No, as soon as you said Martin Wallace, because that was one of my honorable mentions. So,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Wildlands.
really good
It
game.
is a fantastic game. I mean, it is. You're just a different. Each faction is unique.
Yep. You get your own little deck of cards.
You get your own deck of cards, and the abilities are going to line up. They're going to fire. You got like one faction that's good at range, one
Yep.
faction that's good at close up, one
Yep.
faction that's like fast, one
Yep.
faction that's tough.
Yep.
There's even some expansions that do different things,
Mm-hmm.
and you're running around. You're either trying to get your crystals or you're trying to
Attack the other people.
knock
and
the other
keep them-
people out, and then
Mhm.
you get points for knocking them out. And it's
Yeah.
basically like a first of 5,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm. That's a great one though.
Man, I love that game. I need to play that game more. Like
Yeah.
I don't play it enough, and I love it.
Yeah.
It's a game that gets talked about constantly. I never see anyone playing it.
Really?
Yeah, I played it once, and
okay.
it was cool.
Yeah.
I liked it. People are always like, "Wildlands, so cool!" Wow, and I was like, "When's the last time you played it?" And I don't know.
Yeah.
That happens a lot for that one.
Right.
So
well,
many games, so little time.
That's my problem, right? Is
Yeah.
we constantly. It's a good problem to have an influx of games, sometimes
Sure.
for reviews, sometimes out of our own personal desires to gain these games.
Mm-hmm.
And but yeah, Wildlands.
Yep.
It's
Good-
way
good
up
one.
there for me. It's
Yep.
well designed.
Yep.
The components are great. It's not too hard to teach. It's a little once you got to just get people to understand the symbols and how the symbols line up.
iconography on there. And
Yeah,
how they,
once you get the iconography down, it's
Mhm.
not bad.
Yep.
But it will take a minute to teach a new player. The more familiar they are with other types of games,
right,
the
you
more
can
you
relate
can
certain
scaffold.
things to. Yep.
Yeah, off of
Mhm.
that, it will learn smoother. But
My number 3 is a cooperative game.
better be a Martin Wallace. I'm not interested.
I don't know who made it, honestly. So cooperative game.
It better be asymmetrical.
Yeah, like all my other ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to point out for the children in the audience, there is in my Arctic Scavengers, you can have a guy that gives you an asymmetric player power at the beginning of the game. That's true. That's just an asymmetric player power, which is one way to have an asymmetric
Listen,
game.
again, you spend more time talking about your previous one
I always do. Yeah.
than you did here.
So we've moved on now.
Yeah.
Sentinels of the Multiverse. So this.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
this-
no, absolutely,
this
100%
says-
asymmetrical.
I know.
Yeah.
I made the list. So this has a problem for a lot of people, like what Betrayal House on the Hill has, where it's like it's finicky and it's unbalanced. But like Betrayal House on the Hill, for me, the game's incredible and fun, so I just don't care.
Yeah.
So the thing.
It is finicky, but I
Yeah.
don't care.
Thanks for repeating what I just said.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
Well, we don't
I
agree
don't-
with you often, so we figured when we do,
Yeah,
we
we
should
should.
reinforce.
It's such an aggressive episode.
I know. I'm trying to compliment you, and you're
Yeah.
like, "Well, thanks, dummy."
Thanks for your permission.
No, so in this game, everyone has their own deck that you pick a character. Basically, I am this guy,
Yep.
and this is one of the best feeling like man, do you feel as asymmetric as possible in this game?
Yeah.
Like your character
I am
does
this
your
superhero.
thing.
My abilities
Yeah.
are these, and they,
Like my
the
favorite
theme is
example.
all throughout.
My favorite example I always give out is the character that's like the Flash, whose name I
Oh,
cannot remember
Tachyon.
right now. Tachyon. Yep.
It's in my favorite.
They constantly have stuff to draw their cards.
Yeah, they're cycling through their deck.
Yeah, so they go through their deck. They'll go through their deck like 6 times by the time you've gone through your deck like twice.
Yeah.
And you're just like, you're fast. It's like,
Yeah.
it feels
I'm
so
fast.
good. It feels so thematic.
Yeah.
So yeah, everything you're doing of
pick,
attacking these monsters.
That's a
and
really
going
good
after the
pick.
boss. I love Sentinels Multiverse.
I got that big box. And
Yeah,
I
I've got it.
out.
I've got it
Yeah?
too.
Nice.
The tough thing, and I wouldn't say that it's not balanced, but the tough thing is if you don't have a good group of heroes to go up against certain bosses,
Correct.
It can be hard.
it can be really difficult. And again, I'm fine with. I either approach it one of two ways, where it's like, okay, let's keep the boss, let's change up the heroes,
Right.
or you could switch, vice versa, or you just go, you know what? Okay, we got our butts kicked. Let's really just buckle down. We are going to beat this
guy
guy
with this
with this
team.
team. We're gonna figure out how to make it work.
Yeah.
And
And then you cry.
yeah, because it is so challenging,
Yeah.
but it is so satisfying when you win, when you beat that game.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good.
You can actually try it out on iOS for very cheap.
Yeah.
And then get the actual game because it's incredible.
Yeah, it is really good. It is really good, and there's a ton of stuff for it. My number 3 is like. Oh wait, no, your turn.
Yeah, my turn.
Hi.
Thanks.
My number 3 is Bob's
after
turn.
Bob's
Yeah.
number 3.
So my number 3, it's kind of a group of them, but more specifically the original one that I played, the Sid Meier's Civilization.
Sure.
Okay, then they have a newer one, the New Dawn.
Yeah, I haven't
It's
played
not
New
as
Dawn.
asymmetrical. I mean, yeah, sure, you got a couple abilities, but I prefer the older one.
Sure.
When it comes to the asymmetrical side of it. But yeah, the different countries, some of them are broken. Like we've actually had a house where like, okay, nobody can be the Greeks because
Sure.
you can just break that game. And I like doing that. I do.
Yeah,
like taking
I've been on the bad end of you breaking that game.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's over.
yeah.
Like I barely started.
Yeah, but it's fun though. I do like. The
I
different
don't like
countries.
that
I love
game.
Civ builders. Yeah.
I should because I really like Civilization.
Well, that's why I'm excited about the other game that we talked about earlier,
Yeah,
Magnus
Magnus
Rex,
Rex.
because it takes some of that crunchiness of that, but then it puts it on the hex grid, which I enjoy better. So, but yeah.
And you're gonna have some neat things that you're gonna see with that I think will still give you that Civilization feel that you want.
Yeah.
And then it does a good job of like keeping everybody balanced because of the way the tech stuff works. Because when you
Okay.
get a tech,
Yeah.
everybody gets a tech,
Oh. Wow.
but they all get different techs.
Okay.
So that's a thing I really liked.
Okay.
'Cause that kind of keeps everybody
Yeah,
advancing.
because you can't just like run away with the text.
Right.
You're like on the computer. I'm dropping missiles on your archers.
Yeah.
You know.
Right. I'm rolling in with a tank, and they
Yeah.
still got a phalanx like
yeah.
defending
They're
their
like,
city.
stop, hold.
And then they win. And you're
Yeah,
like, I'm
how'd
really
they
bad
win?
at this game.
Oh, they got city walls. That's how they won.
yeah.
All right. So my number 3.
Yeah.
My number 3 is like the most obvious one, I guess.
Then-
Root.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Root is. I mean,
It's super asymmetrical.
it's the most asymmetrical game I've ever seen.
I might have to challenge that one with my number 2.
Okay. No.
Me
Hey.
too.
Yeah.
Happy to
Not my number
happy
2.
to hear it.
Yeah.
I won't spoil it by saying what another game that is
Sure.
made by the same people.
Sure.
Potentially, but Root, like literally in the base game,
Mm-hmm.
that's the only one I played. The 4 factions all play completely different.
Yep.
You have a completely different way of winning the game.
Yep.
Which is to me like the truest form of asymmetry, right? Like
Right.
everybody is doing their own thing, and but in a way though, it very cleverly it overlaps enough that you still kind of have to interfere with the other players
Right.
to achieve your goals. So you can't just kind of like turtle in your own corner. Like
Right.
you do have to do things.
Get out and do things. It is a very I like that asymmetric because different victory conditions.
Right.
Yeah.
And I need to play it more. I'm just fascinated with it. It looks great. I love the components.
The
I
more
love
you talk about it,
feel.
that might beat my number 2, but we'll see.
But but man, Root is pretty damn good.
Yep.
It really is.
So my number 2, I actually haven't played in a really long time. This is an interesting case. Again, I was trying to get different kinds of asymmetric here. So this is asymmetric player powers, but they constantly change throughout the game. And that is Smallworld. The way
Yep.
that
I
the
have never played
characters,
Smallworld.
yeah,
Oh,
it's
Smallworld's
really
good.
good.
Yeah.
Smallworld's
I'm
good.
genuinely, it's in my wish list, and I constantly want to get it, and then I just get something else instead. Like someday I'll own it.
Yeah, you
But,
just bite the bullet.
But so Smallworld is one of those games. It's actually very popular now. When I first played Smallworld, I didn't really see it a lot, but there's like this ability and there's this ability, and they get linked
So I'm
together.
gonna take like the Amazons and then like whatever. You're
Yeah,
taking like
yeah.
a
The
race
flying
and
dragons.
then ability. Yeah,
the flying dragons, the swimming Amazons. Those are bad examples, but you get it, right?
They're really bad. But yeah.
And then so they're all splayed out kind of like, and you buy them and you get them, and then you know it's an area control game, like a risky kind of area control game, and you're conquering this map. Eventually though, you spread yourself so thin, you know you're gonna wind up dying. So imagine playing like an Axis and Allies and a Risk and stuff. You spread yourself so thin, you purposely I'm putting my
civilization
into decline.
Yeah.
I'm purposely killing out this species, getting as many points as I can from what I currently control, starting over again with a new species. You draft a new
You played
species.
Networks, right?
No.
Oh, it's like Networks where you got to like pull a show off the air,
Yeah.
put it into reruns, and then put a new show out.
That's hilarious.
And
I
your
played
reruns
that.
is still getting new
Julia's saying I
shows.
should
Yeah,
play
that.
yeah, we should play that next weekend.
So the biggest thing with the game is knowing when to put your race into decline and when to start
timing
over,
is so
you know?
important.
Yeah, and
it's a great game.
It's just a really cool thing where I'm going to start with this asymmetric character building, do as much as I can on this map with this ability, and then as soon as I don't think I can take advantage of this ability anymore, I kill my guys off, and okay, this ability is now what I'm going to focus on for this section of the game. It's a very awesome player power thing.
Yep, it's really neat.
Cool.
It's really neat. That is a good one. Smallworld's pretty dang good. And there's a ton of stuff for it.
Yeah.
That's why I'm surprised I haven't played it, because it seems like it's super popular.
Yeah.
I've never actually
Especially
played
Mr. Area Control-y war game.
Smallworld
Yeah.
over here
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah,
There's
there's
Smallworld, Underground. All right, what you got?
it. All right, so for my number two,
Number
it's one of the
two.
more unique games that I've played.
Ooh.
Heroes Wanted.
Oh yeah, Heroes Wanted.
So like there's like an A and a B deck, and the A is like your top half, and then the B is your bottom half, and they both have different superhero powers. And
Right.
you're combining these two people together to make your own unique superhero.
And so you get these goofy looking superheroes.
Yeah, super
It's
goofy
hilarious.
superheroes, and you're trying to, stop crime and stop people from littering and
I was gonna
things
say
like that.
because I was talking to the guys who made the game
Uh-huh.
one time at a convention, and I was like, "You guys made a game that like made cleaning up litter fun."
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
because that's like the
One of the
first
missions.
missions
Yeah,
you can
go
do.
around and clean up litter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's
But it's a super neat. It's unique. You don't see it very often. I think
Right.
it should get more love than it does.
yeah, it
you know.
was by Indie Board and Cards, which
Okay.
now they've merged with Stronghold, and it might be like action phase games. Like
Okay.
they totally,
I think actually this is the newer.
but I think you could still find it.
Mhm.
So yeah, Heroes Wanted is solid.
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
it's
cool.
fun.
Yeah, it's
It
neat.
is a lot of fun.
I just like the quirky heroes that you.
Yeah, I've never seen that before. That sounds
Yeah.
hilarious.
So my number 2 is a game that I have talked about a bit.
A bit.
But I love it. It is a pandemic killer for me. Defenders of the Realm.
Yeah, that's
Defenders
one
of
of
the
my
Realm
honorable mentions also.
it's asymmetric. It is a straight co-op. As everybody's trying to defend the realm from invaders, right?
Yep,
You're trying to
4
stop
generals with all their minions.
them, right? Coming in, but every player has got like unique
own unique
ability,
abilities.
and they've got like their own way of kind of handling things. Which,
Yep.
man, it is just a ton of fun.
Some of them address the upcoming like danger cards. Some of them will address like the good stuff. Some of them get like, I can search for items better.
Right, or some
Yeah.
of it's like I'm just good against these minions, or I'm
Yeah.
good against these
Like
minions.
the dwarves, like I got the dragons, so like,
Yeah.
it's easier to kill dragons. with dwarves.
the Eagle Rider, like
Yeah,
I can
he's
just
one of my
zip around the
favorites.
map.
Yep.
You know, it's really good.
It's very good.
I love
Yeah.
that game. Richard Lanius.
Yep. And they've got another one, the Defenders of the Last Stand, which
Yes.
is more of a post-apocalyptic.
Yeah, it's more Mad Max.
Yeah,
we
more
need
Mad
to play
Max.
that more.
We do.
because
the last time I played, I got too many mutations.
yeah, we're like, oh, it's fine, Bob. It's
yeah.
fine. It's fine.
Mutations
It's
are
fine.
good. Look at that strong ability you have. And then I had too many, and it was
And then we
over.
lost very quickly.
very quickly.
Yeah, but that was the only time I played
Yep.
Defenders of the Last Stand.
Same.
I own it
Same.
now. I went out and got it based on that one, even
Yeah.
that one
It
experience
was
where
so
we got our
fun.
butts kicked.
Right.
Yeah, it was so fun.
I
It's
have
a good
yet
game.
to be able to play that one.
So
It's a good one.
we will play either one with you at probably any time.
Anytime.
Sure.
Yeah, and Defenders, like my nieces and Sarah, they all really
Yeah,
enjoy that.
Defenders is
because
good.
you're working together and it's fun. You're rolling tons of dice. You know,
Yeah.
Sure.
It's a good time. You're number 1.
There we go. It better be good, man.
I know, right?
It's the game. Of course, I was going to talk about this. It's
The game
first
is
thing
not
that-
Now it's
asymmetrical.
It's the
Tapestry.
first thing that came into my head. No, no.
What? How did your Tapestry not make it on this
I
list?
thought it would be Tapestry for sure.
I don't know. I just think that these games do it more prominently. It's
Okay.
cool in
I
Tapestry.
mean, Tapestry
but-
has more asymmetry than Arctic Scavengers.
Disagree. I disagree with how that works. I'm just saying.
What you
sure.
got?
So you mentioned Root earlier.
Yep.
I prefer Vast.
Sure.
So Vast is my number
yeah.
one.
That's why I didn't say Vast, because
I
I
know.
thought it might pop up on another list.
I know. So Vast, the Crystal Caverns, I think is the full name.
Yeah.
But so again, it's made by Root Leader Games, and it was their first kind of thing like that. I'm saying right. It was
right.
like it was basically a what's that called? Like a test for Root.
Trial run.
I agree that Root did most of it better. I just enjoy the gameplay and the theme of Vast way more.
I like the idea of the cave. A player playing the cave.
So in Vast, right?
I've never played Vast.
Everyone is completely different. And going off of what you said earlier, which wasn't completely correct, just going off of me, as you said, you like how in Root, everyone's end game is completely different. And that's not true.
Well, you have different ways to achieve your end game.
I guess, but at the end, it's whoever gets 20 victory points or whatever.
Yeah, but I guess the way you get your victory points is so different for each faction.
I'm saying
Vagabond gets
in
it
Vast,
one way.
See, Vast just completely outshines that to me. You're doing nothing like the other players. It's basically, it's this really interesting system of I am trying to stop Bob, who's trying to stop Tim, who's trying to stop me. And our goals are all completely different doing that. So I'm the knight. I need to slay Bob the dragon. I'm going into this cave and I'm like, I will save the city from this dragon. Bob's the dragon. He's waking up from a slumber, a 1,000-year slumber, and he needs to eat and get strong enough to go leave the cave and destroy the city, right? Tim is the goblins who are trying to kill the knight, get out of our cave. Meanwhile, the dragon is eating the goblins because that's how he's getting his energy back. All this is going on while there's a vagabond, a fugitive, whatever, going around and just stealing everyone's items and just trying to get as rich as possible. And then someone's playing the cave, who is slowly building out the cave, and he's the one that chooses he's placing these chests and he's placing all these things because he wants
to get people to go deeper.
He wants people to go deeper in the cave so it grows as fast as possible. Yeah, because once the cave completely grows, he then starts collapsing the cave on everyone, and he wins if he kills everyone inside the cave.
Yeah, I love that idea.
It's the most asymmetric thing I've ever seen. I love the theme. The problem is it's near impossible to teach this game
because you need to know how to play.
Everyone does everything differently, so the person teaching has to know every single action and everything, every card for every single player playing the game.
Root is similar.
Yeah, it's just not as bad because the victory condition, you can skip over it in Root and say, get 20 victory points. Here's how you get 20 victory points. Turn Vast, I have to explain, okay, you need to kill the goblins. Here's how you do that. You need to do this. Here's how you do that. And it's all completely different. But yeah, Vast the Crystal Caverns gets a lot of negative talk now because Root is so perfect and blah, blah, blah. I would rather play Vast almost any day. Root is awesome. Vast is awesomer. Write that down somewhere.
Sure. Okay. There's your quote.
Yeah, exactly. Awesomer. Put that on the box.
All right, Hook, what you got? Number one.
My number one.
Number one.
It's one of my favorite co-op games of all time.
Okay.
Spirit Island.
Oh, yeah, duh. Should have known.
Yep. Yeah,
should have known.
24 different spirits. The stack of spirits is this.
And that's after the expansion?
Yes. That's with the newest expansion and a couple of Kickstarter promos in there.
Sure.
But yeah, it's great. And there's all so different, right? There's on the back they have a breakdown of who's good at defense, who's good at fear, who's good at offense.
Right.
And there's one of them that's just all question marks because everything that's covered up, and then as you do your growth cycle, you choose which items to take off, and then that character becomes good at this, and now he becomes good at that. There's one that messes with time that you do to adjust other things. I mean, there's so much to that.
There's a ton.
Yeah, there's a ton. Yeah. I mean, even with the your enemies that you fight, you can pick different people to go up against, right? Whether the English or the French or whatever, and they add another asymmetrical type of thing to the game.
Yeah, I mean, asymmetry and a difficult co-op tend to go well together, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can dig it.
Because it was nice is we teamed up one time when we played, and it's there's one guy who's super strong, but he can't do anything on the coastlines, and there's one guy who's super strong on the coastlines, but he can't get inland. And you put those two together, and you wipe everybody out. Yeah,
we need to maybe try to play that next weekend.
Yeah, I'm down.
So we'll figure out if you need to bring it or if it will be there.
Yeah, right.
But we'll go because I'm going to say the same thing about my number one.
Yeah.
So my number one is not the normal one that I might normally pick.
Yeah.
Which would be Cthulhu Wars.
Of course.
Blah, blah, blah.
That
Honourable
was
mention.
Yeah.
Talked it to death. We'll get to it in a minute.
Sure.
But actually, my number one is one that I really like and I want to play more.
Okay.
I need to play it more. GKR Heavy Hitters.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, man.
That's a really good one.
GKR is amazing. The components. The components are so good. Weta Workshop, 1 to 4 players. If you play 4, you need to play teams. You should do 2v2.
Yes. Avoid that Kingmaker.
I would say
and almost not play odd numbers.
I would say you either need to play 1v1 or 2v2.
I agree.
And stay away from the 3. I played 3, and that's the only time that I was like, it was okay. But the best thing about this game, right, in addition to the fantastic, already painted, very well painted,
very nice,
gigantic
minis.
mech
minis,
and then they've got their little units, their extra units,
support units.
But each mech is armed differently. And not only is it armed differently, but you're going to build your deck before you start.
Yeah.
So you're going to select like a
I
laser
want
weapon.
lasers, I want missiles. Yeah.
So you're going to build your
Machine
deck out of
guns.
so many X things, right? But even then, my deck that I'm building is going to be completely different than yours. We're going to have like a couple of basic cards that overlap that are for like everybody, like cooldown or whatever, right? You know.
Huh.
What?
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
You can have a couple that are the same as long as you get some different ones.
But-
Usually do.
But every deck is with the unique weaponry and the armaments on your mech, right? And
That's what I was gonna say. The fact that the way that your decks are different is like, oh, I have this 4-piece missile launcher. Your mech model has the 4-piece missile.
I've got the railgun.
Yeah.
The railgun is right there.
They did such a great job showing, no, this is this. That's why you're
That's why it's one of your
outfitting it like
options.
this.
We
Yeah.
do have a very early review of this that we
Nice.
did.
Yeah, one of the first ones.
But I want to go back and redo it now that we've kind of upped our production value here on the show.
Yeah.
But man, I love this game. I think the buildings,
very cool.
and like knocking down the buildings,
Yeah.
you know, and all
Tagging
that
them
stuff.
with your sponsors and stuff.
Yeah,
I love all the theme
My
that comes
favorite
through.
part of the game is the theme.
Yeah.
They did
the cards,
such a great job.
the cards are hilarious.
Yeah.
Like
This
the flavor.
bomb's sponsored by
Yes.
Drink Cola.
New energy
Yeah.
drink. And
Yeah.
you get one extra move this turn
Yeah.
to show off how good this energy drink is.
Yeah. So
it's
funny.
So
It's
good.
hilarious. It's so tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
It's so fun. It is
You
so
can, like,
fun.
poison your guys with the bad tacos.
Right.
Yeah, so their
Right.
opponent loses an action or something.
Yeah, it's really
It's fun.
man. GKR heavy hitters.
I liked it way more than I thought I was going to going into it. It is not my kind of game at all. And at the end of the day, I was like, that was a really well done
It's
game.
pretty wild, right?
Yeah.
You start firing off and knocking buildings down,
Yep.
and you like shooting through buildings and
Right.
like some of that stuff, and
Yep.
moving out your little like scout units and doing things with
Yeah.
them. There's a lot of fun stuff, and it's some dice chucking. I mean, it's just
Sure.
fun. I really like it.
It's a good time.
Yep, that was a good one.
So you guys got some honorable mentions.
A couple
then?
honorable mentions.
Yeah, really quick. I'll go over mine, I guess. So it needs talked about, even though none of us love it that much. Villainous is a very famous,
Yeah,
very
absolutely.
famous. Everyone is doing their own little
You
victory
love it, I
condition.
don't.
I don't love it. It's good. It's
You married
fun.
it. I don't know.
I married
That's
a villain. That's so
Uh-oh.
rude of you.
Ugh.
XCOM is another cooperative one
Yep.
that is really cool. I like XCOM a lot. I talk about it quite a bit. And the other one I have on here is I'm just going to mention Twilight Imperium.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, of course, it's
all
my
different
second
factions.
favorite game of all time. It's fantastic. It's
Yeah.
an
Yep.
awesome game.
Yep,
Really
yep.
cool faction thing.
It's really good. It is really good.
So on my honorable mentions, the old school X and Allies, where they have the techs that you can do, like the super
Yes.
subs
I
and
like
the
the
rockets
techs
and things like that.
in the-
I'm hoping that Domination, that other game that we talked about that was on Kickstarter.
Oh, right.
I'm hoping that combines the old techs with like some of the newer
Gives
stuff.
you some
Yeah.
of that stuff.
And then basically anything that's like the Cthulhu, right, with all the different investigators, the Death May Die, the Arkham Horror, the
Oh,
Cthulhu
sure.
Wars, all those different factions and how
Right.
they all come through in them. I really enjoy that. And then one I just thought about just now, and I had to look up to make sure I got the name right, as far the Merchant's Cove. Like that's the one where it's like one person's doing a rolling right, one person's doing this.
I
one
cannot
person's
wait
doing
to
that.
play this game.
Yeah, and that game looks super cool. I backed on the Kickstarter, so when it comes
it's
out,
the
we'll get a
new
review
vast route game.
Yeah, and
Like,
it
Sure.
looks super neat. Yeah, and it's like, but it's like completely different mechanics. It's not even
Yeah.
just like, oh, I'm playing the cave and you're playing this. It's like root would be, yeah, I guess,
Right.
you know, totally different type of mechanic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my big one is Cthulhu Wars, and it's the
Yeah.
reason it's not my number one is because I don't want to talk about it in
All the
depth
time.
every week
Every
and have it
single
on
time.
every list.
Yeah.
And besides, I feel really good about these other 5 games
Yeah.
that I've thrown on there.
Yep.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna honorable mention Magnus Rex really quick.
Yeah.
Magnus Rex, dude. Magnus Rex, again, like theme of the week. I know we played it and we're excited to get a copy in, so yeah, we're a little biased. You
Sure.
can find it on GameCrafter right now. There's a lot of game in that box. I don't remember. Is it $69 or is it $79?
Great question. Don't remember.
One or the other. We will be better with that information next week.
Yeah.
But we're gonna be talking about Magnus Rex for a little while because I think I don't want to overhype it. I don't want to smartphone
Don't
it for you.
smartphone me. Yeah.
But I really that's a game that I play like we played and like this is a Bob game.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, I was like, if I'm liking this, I can't imagine. It's like what I kept thinking, you know?
Yeah.
right. And it, again, it just captures
Gonna
civilization.
Not like it just to spite.
Do
It
it.
just it captures that civilization feel, and that was
Right
his
on.
intention, right? I
Right,
mean, he
yeah,
came
yeah.
at it with that goal, like try to
Right,
make
a
a
Civ type game.
yes. And I like the old school Civ, you know.
Yeah.
So
I like
anyway.
old school Civ with old school Civ
Yeah,
with hexes.
sure,
Give it to me.
sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy. So be sure to check out our friends at the Board Game Mechanics. They do a pretty okay podcast.
Okay.
Sometimes Jason comes on here and talks some trash. Actually, the last one he's making fun of Dan, so I endorse that strongly.
Yeah, promote this message.
Please.
Right, that's right.
I approve that message.
This message.
But yeah, we pop up on there too. So check out their YouTube channel. They've got a weekly podcast, comes out every Friday. It's pretty okay.
Yep.
And sometimes I pop up on there.
Don't forget
Well, it's
links
not
in the
as good.
description if there's anything special we mentioned, and also to our umbrella company, the Game Talk Network, who supports us and allows us to do what we do.
Yes.
And the exclamation point in the top corner up here has links to things we've talked about that we have already done videos of in the past. So instead of having to search for anything, you can just be like, oh, that was an interesting topic. Click, takes you straight in a new tab to that video as well.
Yeah.
And thank you for those likes and subscribes,
course.
thumbs ups. Give us comments.
Giveth us.
Find us on Game Talks. Shoot us a message. Meeple Game Society.
Yep.
We're all over the place,
Yeah,
man.
we're everywhere.
Don't forget, if you have the technology, I guess, and you're that interested in Blood in the Clocktower, Tim's right. You could just request to hop
Join
in
virtually.
the game.
Yeah.
It'll probably wind up being in a Saturday evening because that's when most people are available.
Sure.
So we'll see what happens.
But again, we'd just be happy to engage in conversation.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So
Talk about games.
Let's
that's what we
talk
like to do.
games.
Let's talk games. Game Talk Network. That's
We
weird.
don't promote that very much, but that's technically our tagline.
Technically is.
Marketing.
We're on brand all the time.
All the time.
So for the Board Game Rundown, I've been Tim.
I've been Bob.
I've been Dan.
We'll see you guys next time.
Weirdo. Thanks.
Bob's still just holding it.
Thanks.
Don't. Gotcha.
Thanks for checking out the Board Game Rundown. If you like what you saw, like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Share our videos on social media and spread the word. We publish new content weekly, including reviews, unboxing, and Let's Plays. And as always, thanks for watching.